Oh, thank you so very much, Rajesh sir, for this warm welcome, and a very happy evening to all of you. And before I start my today's lecture, I would like to thank GART for bringing on this particular platform between us and giving me this opportunity of presenting and giving lecture on a particular topic. Thank you so very much. So, shall we start, sir? Okay. A very happy evening, and today we will be talking and discussing on tumor biology and mechanism of cancer spread. Next slide. Well, after discussing this particular lecture, we will be able to understand what is the tumor biology, what are tumors, types of tumors, and differentiation in normal and cancer cells, cancer classification, how do cancer causes, and how does this cancer spread in human body. Next slide. Now we will begin with the introduction. Cancer biology is the study of cellular and molecular mechanisms that drive tumor formation and growth. So this particular field of biology investigates how normal cells behave and lose their regulatory controls, how genes are mutated, genetic mutations happen that leads to unregulated proliferation, tissue invasion, and ultimately metastasis. So this foundational science is essential for radiation therapy, overcoming radioresistance using radiosensitizers, and developing targeted therapies and diagnostic also. So this is an important chapter for radiotherapy and other part of cancer treatment also. So next, we will come to know what is a tumor and their types. Now, what is a tumor? A tumor is an abnormal mass of tissue that forms when cells grow and divide excessively or fail to die when they should. Now, this tumor have been categorized in main two categories, likely benign tumor. First, describe the benign tumor, which is non-cancerous. So these tumors are localized and they do not generally spread to other parts of the body. So they typically grow very slowly and have clear boundaries. They can be understandable and they can be seen in a regular shape like normal cells. So some examples of benign tumors are like lymphoma that happens in fat tissue and myoma that occurs in smooth muscle or uterine fibroids. One more common example you can take as pituitary adenoma that we treat in our department. So that also is a benign tumor. Next slide. Now we will discuss about the malignant or cancerous tumor. Malignant tumors are a group composed of abnormal cells that multiply uncontrollably, unlike normal cells. Unlike benign tumors, they are aggressive, more aggressive, and they can invade nearby healthy tissues and can spread to distant parts of the body through the bloodstream and the lymphatic system. Next slide. One more category in the cancer tumor it is precancerous or even simply call it pre-malignant. Now, what is that? This is the growths that are not yet cancer but have abnormal cells and may turn into cancer if left untreated. One common example you can use as leukoplakia. What is that? It is generally presented in white patch in the mouth, but studies have found that only 1 to 18% of leukoplakia turn into malignant cancer if they are left untreated or avoided. So within these tumors are classified. Malignant tumors have subclasses. They have subtypes, and they are classified by specific tissue or the organ where they origin. So firstly, it is carcinogenesis. Where do they originate from? They do originate in the skin of the tissue lines in internal organs like breast, lung, head and neck cancers, prostate, colon cancers, esophagus, the daily we do. So they all fall under the carcinomas. Next slide. Second type is the sarcoma, which is implicate genetic systems that regulate cell repair of damaged DNA and apoptosis, program cell death, which is body's normal mechanism of eliminating the old cell. The second one is the tumor microenvironment. Tumors are not just made up of for cancer cells; it is a complex ecosystem. The tumor microenvironment often hijack these elements and tricking the human immune system into ignoring the cancer. Next slide. Next is metastasis. So the biological cascade where cancer cells break away from the primary tumor. Um, there are studies and many cancer specialists say that when the patient go through FNAC or biopsy, so this break away, the cancer cells break away from that place and they do spread to the other part of that. So this is a chance and their and lymphatic system can establish new growth in distant organs. The next one is angiogenesis, the process by which tumors secrete chemical signals to stimulate the growth of new blood vessels, ensuring a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients to fuel the rapid growth of cancer cells. Next slide. The causes of cancer. Well, cancer is caused by changes like mutations in the DNA within the cells when the genes and DNA are mutated. These DNA mutations can be inherited or maybe inherited from parents or environmental exposures. Well, there are various factors and causes. While some factors are out of your control, but many cancers can be prevented or their risk can be heavily reduced if we want. The main causes and risk factors are also use is the leading preventable cause of cancer worldwide. Many therapists who are working in the state of Gujarat, or you might have go through in the books or maybe in Google that most number of head and neck cancers is in Gujarat. It's not only in India, in the, throughout the Asia. Because the particular kind of tobacco is available here, which is very popular and do chewing out day and night. So that leads to significant factors including cancer, obesity, work in factories where benzene is used as the base product. So they are in a higher risk of getting cancer. So I have put out a picture here. You can see this here. So these are the lifestyle risk factors of cancer which can be prevented. So this cancer doesn't come from hereditary. We bring them in our life. So this can be prevented. Smoking, alcoholic, then sedentary lifestyle, unprotected sex. There is also a way of spreading cancer, excessive sun exposure. So these are the things. Next slide. This is an important one. Radiation and pollution. Exposure to ultraviolet UV radiation from the sun as well as radon gas and air pollution can damage DNA over time. A long exposure of these two particular things can lead to cancer. Now, what is radon? Now, this radon is a radioactive gas. Radon occurs naturally when uranium breaks down, and uranium is often found in high concentration granite rocky soils. This is the second most leading cause of lung cancer in the whole USA, and the cause of death also. So this is the radon gas which comes from the uranium buildings and kind of constructive materials. So it is a concern for them also. So I think this is not a concern, not only a concern for America and developed countries. I think this is a becoming a growing concern in developed countries in India and other countries also. So this is a concern. Next slide. Infection. There are few infections through which one may develop cancer. So there are certain viruses and bacteria can promote cancer by causing chronic inflammation and altering cellular function. Examples include human papillomavirus, more popularly HPV. You might have seen many patients come where on RT paper it is written HPV positive and hepatitis B and C positive. So there are chances apart from radiation exposure, apart from lifestyle, through infection also one can develop or one can get infected to cancer. So one picture I have put out here for hepatitis B and C. The first one is being the it's a normal liver composed of hepatocytes. When it is infected with hepatitis B or C, so HBV DNA integrated hypocytes. The third stage is the cirrhosis. The fourth stage is the hepatocellular carcinoma. This is the last stage after getting infected with the hepatitis B and C. So through which, so this also one can get or one can develop liver cancer, hepatocellular carcinoma. Next slide. Genetics. Now this is not in our hand. Unfortunately, approximately 5 to 10% of cancers are hereditary. This is not in our hand. We cannot change our genes. Caused by an abnormal gene mutations passed down in a family, such as BRCA1 or BRCA2. So these are the tumor suppressor genes that produce proteins to help repair damaged DNA. In a family, if someone had in your first order, someone had cancer, so there are higher chances, like 5 to 10% of chances that their offsprings may develop cancer. So there are chances like breast cancer. If mother had breast cancer, so there are higher chances for a daughter to develop breast cancer in their whole lifetime. These are chances. Next slide. Now the important one, mechanism of cancer spread. How does this cancer spread from one body part to other? We will discuss this here. Cancer spreads or metastasizes when cells break away from the primary tumor. That I, like I said earlier, when FNEC or biopsies one does FNEC biopsies. So there are talks in various platforms that these are the chances through which this can spread. But there are other mechanisms also that we will discuss here. The spread of cancer happened to them? How did this cancer develop in their bodies, inside their body? So having knowledge of these things, cancer biology and their mechanism of spread will definitely help radiation therapies to better target the tumor. Thank you. Thank you so very much.